Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the December meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. I'm John Buno, the president, and we're going to start off with our sponsor, who's got all kinds of good holiday gifts. Carolyn McLean, treasurer, longtime friend, is the candle lady, and she's got two candles that I do not recognize. Balsam peppermint, which probably smells like peppermint, and holiday memories. Bright orange peel is joined with apple and cinnamon bark. Oh, geez. A warming, nutmeg, allspice. Oh, God, you can smells like my kitchen half the time. And the fragrance of the month, fireside bourbon. Oh, yeah. Carolyn also has some candles if you'd like to purchase them as a last-minute Christmas gift, a holiday gift, or just to make your life nicer.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, your fireside vermin is the flavor of the month. And mine, I just got a text. It's on its way. It's going to be here today.
Ah, okay.
I actually have the balsam peppermint with me. And I do have the holiday memories at home. What else did I bring with me? Frosted balsam. That's last month's flavor of the month. And one called King's Myrrh. Yeah, it actually says Joy to the World on it.
Ah, these make great gifts and also brighten up your home.
Oh, the one thing, I'm going to be at Grateful Goods next Saturday. Grateful Goods is a charity. It's supported charity of the month. They are actually there today, but of course I'm not there today. But they're usually the second and fourth. They're having a special third because the fourth is the day after Christmas. So we're trying to get all the last minute Christmas shoppers. It's down on 6th Street and it's right next to Mr. Fix-It on 6th Street. If you get down on 6th Street, it's right next to Mr. Fix-It. And I will be there from 9 to 3 next Saturday. And I'm going to have all kinds of deals going throughout the day. Every hour, I'm going to change my deals. By next weekend, by the time 2 o'clock comes, the stuff is really going to be inexpensive for whatever I have left that's Christmas scented. So come on by, just come and see who we are. They usually have about 50 or so vendors there. There's 2 rooms of them. If you come, I'm in the room on the right, but I still recommend you check all the people out who are in the room on the left. A great thing for everybody. And I'm actually planning on doing the 4th Saturday of the month throughout the year when I'm in town. So come on down and check it out next week.
And you can sponsor a meeting. It's $10 per meeting or $100 per year. You get a slide during the meeting presentation. The meeting video with that, it will be in the YouTube, and there's a link to it. And we mention you and link on the Facebook page. Moving right along, that's me. Today's agenda, we're going to do a very short business, timely tech topics with some really interesting things that have been happening. A question and answer period where you get to ask questions. And then our feature presentation is Microsoft Copilot. And this is a part 1 of our 3-part series on AI.
You're about Disney.
What about Disney?
They invested in OpenAI.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Our playlist. If you join the channel, the MVCUG channel, when you watch the videos, I have made playlists up there of all these categories. There is almost 300 videos in them now. Every time I find something, I put it in the playlist. The artificial intelligence one is growing in leaps and bounds. And when we get the announcements, you'll see why, okay? And then we have group website, blah, 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 Facebook page, all this member benefits, how to become a member. You come to a meeting. We have found out that some people are not using the group email address and they think they are sending to the group and they're not. If you send an email to the group and do not get a copy of that back, that means you're using the wrong email address. When you send a message to the group, you must use this one. Is when you get a group email, normally from me, use the address it was sent to and just copy that and put in a new message. And we try desperately to answer all of your questions immediately. And if you do not get a response virtually immediately within an hour, then there's a very good chance you did not send to the right email address. And if you did not get your email in your inbox, the most important part about membership is our professional consultation discounts. Barry and I both do this, and Mike does occasionally. You can call us, email us. It's all free. I would say 90% of the time, we solve the problem without having to do anything except walk you through it. Occasionally, and actually, I don't even think it's 10% of the time now. I think it's even less than that. We do have to visit you at your home. If we do that, pay $35 an hour, and only if we can fix the problem. If we can't fix it, you don't pay it. If we have to go beyond Sierra Vista metro area, there may be a slightly larger charge. Like if we have to go out to Bisbee, Benson, Palominas. Okay, any question? Yes, ma'am. Upcoming meetings. January is part 2, AI and you. What can we trust? Diving down the rabbit hole. And this particular meeting is going to be interesting. Because one of the things we're going to discuss is how to identify fake photos. It's getting harder and harder and harder. Don't believe anything you see unless it's live. Like, I mean, live as in Fox News, CNN. Is a live broadcast. There is a good chance that it might not be fake. Notice how I worded that. Might be fake.
Even so, there was a scam that happened where somebody thought they were in a Zoom meeting with their executive board, and it turned out that he was in a Zoom meeting with AI generated individuals.
Yes.
Transferred several $1 million to our account, which he did.
And that was last week. A big problem trying to regulate AI because it starts to infringe upon freedom of speech and regulating something which is not regulatable. I mean, how would you regulate? So we'll talk about that. That's coming up in January. February, getting the most out of the AI assistance, prompt engineering, that is becoming, how to get the most is becoming less and less of an issue because they're getting smarter and smarter and smarter. And when we get to time and tech topics, you'll see some of the things that's going on.
But there are actually job titles now, prompt engineer.
In March, my presentation on how the internet works or doesn't. And when we get done, you'll probably be wondering how in the world does it actually work? Because how it works is very complex. And then April 11th, we're going to be doing spams and scams. How to control it, how to look for it, what to look for, how to try and prevent it. Timely tech topics. Everything you didn't know you wanted to know. What happened this month? And the first thing, this came as a total and complete surprise to everyone. No one was expecting it. Adobe announced it has added application support to ChatGPT 5.2, which means you can say to ChatGPT, blur the background of this image. ChatGPT will contact Photoshop, bring the image in, blur the background, and give it back to you. This is unprecedented. You can now say such things as remove the second person on the left or add the person in photo A to photo B, and it does it automatically.
So is that if you have a subscription to the Adobe or?
Yes, you need both. Well, you need the subscription to ChatGPT. What I don't know is anything beyond that, because in order to get this feature, you have to pay for it, and I'm not paying $90 a month for ChatGPT. Then moving along, Apple is expanding beyond Premium Macs. For the first time ever, Apple is going to be adding a budget Mac targeted under $1,000. That is much as we know.
They haven't announced anything, but that's
It's
the rumors out of the.
especially since they're gearing up production. And then we have, Mary, I'm sorry. Yeah.
On that lines, in terms of CPU benchmarks, the iPhone 17, the current iPhone chip in it, is benchmarks faster in was a single thread processing or whatever than the Mac Pro, which is still running on Intel Xeon chips.
Really? I hadn't heard that one.
Or no, maybe the Mac Pro that they did do a Mac Pro with an M2 Ultra on it or something. Anyway, it's faster than the most recent Mac Pro, which they haven't announced a new one for several years now. The iPhone 17 has got a better processor.
Microsoft is really kicking up their AI. They lowered their internal growth targets for some newer AI products. They did not have a good quarter. They missed almost all of their quotas. They're going after the enterprise market. Watch Microsoft in the AI market. They're up to something. We're just not too sure what yet.
Last year, about just before Thanksgiving, they had Microsoft Ignite, which is their big trade show.
Yeah.
And there was a 2-hour presentation. I bailed after an hour. But they had it set up as an example of how they're going to do agentic AI, using AI to automate the entire business process from beginning to end. And it's very ambitious. And if they actually pull it off, it'll It would probably catch a lot of the enterprise market.
Some of the threads that I follow with Microsoft, there's been a lot of discussion about that, and there's a lot of people not really happy with what they're planning on doing, like getting rid of most of their sales force, a lot of their engineers. I think they're going the wrong direction. Google, they're going after. It's almost like they're trying to compete with both Apple and Microsoft on a very aggressive level. Their new Chromebooks are impressive, and it looks more and more like they're going to be a top-notch competitor.
What is a Chromebook?
A Chromebook is like a laptop, kind of like a tablet, kind of if a tablet and a laptop got married, their kid would be like I think that's the best I can describe it, because it's not really a laptop and it's not really a tablet. It's kind of both and neither. Originally, they didn't fall upon good feelings. The later ones are getting better and better and better. So they could be a contender. I do know in the AI field, Google is really upping the ante. Their new image editing, video editing is competitive with OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, but free. Now, I've played with it just a little bit. I cannot get their animator to work the way I want it to. Does it work? Yes. My prompts are not correct because I cannot get my characters to walk on stage and do something and walk off stage. I can get them on stage, and I took a picture of our stuffed animals, had them talking, stands up, and it looks real. I mean, I was shocked. Tips. Oh, we got some great tips. The iPhone tip of the month. This one is mine. Filtering unknown callers. We're going to go into messages. And I got messages turned on. I'm using the new where it categorizes. And I don't like getting spam, but I do want some messages to come through. You see down here, I could go into settings and try and figure out where in settings would I do this. Well, somebody at Apple really had a great idea. Within messages now, I can go directly to the specific settings. If you have, now watch, I'm going to turn off screen unknown senders off. Notice that it's changed. The text filtering is turned off. If I turn screen unknown senders on, I get text filtering. Allow notifications. If I tap on that, I can turn on and off time-sensitive, personal, transactions, and promotions. In my case, I don't want to be bothered with promotions. Don't tell me about it. If it is a personal notification, I want to know about it. If it's a transaction, I want to know about it. Okay, this means the notification will come in and interrupt me. Promotions, I don't care about. If it's time sensitive, I care about. I can turn these on and off so I can now customize how I want my text messages to be delivered to me. I can also go in and filter spam. I can turn that on and off. The text message filter. I can select filters to automatically sort message into categories. I have it turned off right now. I can turn that on. And I also have all the other things I can do in messages from within messages. So you see that up here in the upper right-hand corner, the three bars, you tap on that, and that opens up your messages menu. And I have it set, I can tap on unknown senders, and if I have messages from people I don't know, it'll show up there. I can go to transactions. I can see all transaction, finance, orders, and I can go back to all messages. So that's within. Now I'm using iOS 26. You will not get this feature unless you have iOS 26. It's part of the iOS 26 update. I strongly recommend, if you can, update to iOS 26. It's amazing. I just love it. Okay, any other questions? Our next tip is from Barry.
Hi, this is Barry Midgordon, and this is your Baz McGeek tip of the month for the Mountain View Computer Users Group, December 13. Look at the calendar, make sure I got the right date. 2025. How to set a holiday background for your wallpaper on Mac OS. So first, Apple doesn't give you any holiday images for your wallpaper. Sorry. So you'll have to have some that you want to apply yourself. Of course, a quick internet search will probably find you many options. I'll launch Safari here real quick, just open it up. And you can see I have a Christmas light search for images. It's easy to do something quick and easy. You can find wallpaper. You can search for wallpaper specifically. Most of these are probably okay for personal use. I imagine there are some copyrights involved with some of these images, but if you're not using them in your own creations and selling it, you're all probably okay to use as your wallpaper on your own Macintosh. So aside from that, you can also create your own if you want, if you have those skills. Quit Safari here. I'm going to just open up a new Finder window and navigate to my pictures folder. I have a folder for wallpaper, and then I have a holidays subfolder, and then several different holidays here. But under Christmas, I have some wallpaper images that I have collected or created over the years to choose from. So to set one or more of these as your holiday wallpaper, we're going to take a trip to System Settings. Close that window. I'll launch System Settings from the dock down here and scroll in the sidebar until I see Wallpaper. Now, right now I have the default or one of the default Tahoe wallpapers installed or chosen. And then there are some other options that are provided by Apple. All these video things, shuffle aerials, pictures, earth, underwater, cityscape, landscape. There's a place here for your photos. You may just see this one button here. You may not have any others. These have been added. I can just get rid of these real quick. This is probably what you'll see if you've never added any yourself. So you need to click on Add a Photo, and System Settings will open up a little menu, and you can choose from your photos library. If you have some images that you have taken, photographs with your iPhone or iPad, you can go to your photo library and choose something from there, or you can choose an individual file by clicking on Choose File. Show that in a second. Or you can create a set by choosing a folder. That's just a folder of images on your hard drive, like I just showed you in the Finder folder that I had set up some wallpapers. And then, of course, then it has a whole bunch of names here. And these are actually people labeled in my photos library. I have to get by it to the past the names, and then I can look at albums. So I can dig down into my photos library directly this way. But let's just go back to choose a file. We'll do that. Just choose one file, and it's going to open up dialog box. Now you see some extra Chrome around here. I have a utility called default folder that gives me extra controls in my open and close or open and save dialog boxes, but you can ignore that stuff. The white bright area here is what you'll normally see. And it's already gone to this Christmas folder, but it may default to like maybe, I don't know, your home or something. And then you'll have to, go to your pictures. If that's where you've stored them, go to my wallpaper folder. Come on, open it up. And holidays and Christmas. 5 in here to choose from. So let's just pick one. Let's pick this Rudy Green. It's a 4K image of graphic of Rudolph with a green background. And voila, there it is. It appears in the top. And it adds it to this line for your photos. It keeps track of ones you've done in the past. So if I were to System Settings, I can see Rudy. Well, I also have some widgets, and they're blocking Rudy's antlers there. But if I open another window, or if I just open another app, I have the liquid glass effect for the widgets, and it shows antlers through the liquid glass. Isn't that classy? Anyway, let's bring back System Settings. Another way you can add a new photo is in the Finder. We go back to the Finder, and I'll go back to this. Where is it? Recent folders. We'll go to that Christmas folder again. I can just take an image file, drag it into System Settings onto this top thumbnail, and see the plus sign allows you to drop it, and then it'll change to that. And now we see it's got both Rudy and this Merry Christmas one. Let's see. Let's hide that. Got the same kind of thing going over here, but you may or may not have widgets. Of course, you can edit where your widgets appear on your screen. So if you have widgets and you don't want to cover up something, you can just move this over to here and put them in a different place. You can change those any way you like. depending on what your wallpaper is, or you can get rid of them. Now, let's go back to system settings. You'll notice there's another option here where it has these arrowed circles. You can click on that, and now you have a shuffle. You can change the increment to every 5 seconds. You'll get a different wallpaper every minute, 5, 15, 30, every hour, or every day. You can change how the clock appears on your wallpaper in terms of the font it uses. And that would be for your lock screen. And you can change how it appears on your desktop, fill it, fit it, stretch it, center it, depending on the aspect ratio of what you're choosing. And if you use spaces, you can turn it on and off, and your shuffle can be random or not. Now, another option, though, instead of just adding them one at a time and clicking that, is if you have a folder full, like I have, you can choose folder. And then you can just go to a Christmas folder. I have 5 in here, and click open. I've actually already done this. And it'll appear at the bottom under this row of colors for your wallpaper. And if you've added a folder full of images, you'll get all of them down here. And then you can just click on that random shuffle and change the settings to whatever you'd like. And that's how you set a wallpaper specifically for this month, some holiday wallpapers that you'll have to either create or collect, or if you'd like, let me know and I'll share mine with you in the next segment.
Okay, now we're gonna do same.
I don't have a video. I don't need one because really Windows has very much the same thing as what Barry just showed. If you go to settings and personalization, it allows you to select a background. And just about everything that Barry says does apply to that. You could choose a slideshow, a selection. You could choose a one picture, or something that I do when I do videos is I just select a solid color. So for this, yeah, you probably want a slideshow. Again, you can have it set up. I think I have mine that it rolls every 10 minutes or so. You could shuffle the picture order, and you can choose a fit for the image. You could stretch it or make it fit in a certain way. I will be doing a video for this, and I'll have John put it up on the website. I really see no reason for you to sit through 10 minutes of basically what we just saw, except substitute Windows every time you see Macs. So that's I will be putting up a video on.
Okay, great. Okay, now we have share a favorite and Barry's favorite. Tivitas. Is it another video?
Keep going, 2 slides.
Ooh, festivitas.
Hi, I'm back again. Barry Midgordon, and this is the Mac Geek favorite of the month for the Mountain View Computer Users Group, December 13, 2025. Today, I have another holiday-themed favorite. Now that we have some holiday wallpaper, spice it up a bit. Let's take it up another level. Let's make it snow and string some lights. My favorite this month is an app, Festivas. Let's launch it and see how it's spelled. Festivitas. Anyway, here we go. This is an app that allows you to string lights across your menu bar and or your dock, and it brings you a bunch of choices. Let's bring up the settings here. You can start it at login. You can show the app in the dock or not, or in the menu bar, or both. Up to you. And then you got settings for the dock. You can show them 100% opacity, or you can got lots of settings you to change. You can change the color of the cable, how thick it is, and the shape of the lights. You've got oval, circle, and diode for default. But if you have other holidays you'd like to have lights, like Halloween or St. Patrick's Day or Easter, you can change the shape of the lights. Different shapes for different holidays, or just for drinking. Whatever your drinking holiday is. Must be New Year's Eve, maybe? And so a couple emojis down here you can do. Anyway, lots of choices, lots of holidays you can string your lights on your computer with. You can change the colors, you can create presets, use built-in presets. You can make the twinkling faster or slower. This also applies to the menu bar. You can change the shape of the lights, whether they're fade or they move when the mouse is nearby, like, oh, look at that. And again, the cable and the light settings. And new this year, by the way, this app came out last fall of 2024. So this app will work in macOS Sequoia and now in macOS Tahoe as well. But this newest version that was updated this year added snow. You can make it snow on your desktop for an extra holiday treat. You can increase the amount of the snow. You can make the flakes bigger. You can make it fall faster. You can make the wind blow from one direction to the other direction, left or right, to make it be a snowstorm. Or you can leave it all at the defaults. You can have it just on your desktop picture. So that means anything like any open windows and so forth, you won't see the snow on. But if it's over everything, you can see it's falling on top of this settings dialog box here. You can also repel snow with your mouse. So if you put this over here, it will see how the snow moves away from the mouse. You can have it be very strong, or you can have it turn off so it doesn't repel it at all. The other thing he added this year was shortcuts capability. You can add a couple of examples, 3 examples he has to shortcuts. So if you have you can have it turn on the festive lights when you play some music on your Mac, or you can have it turn on snow if there is actually snow in the weather forecast for where you're located. Or you can just have start a snowstorm, turn on snow at high intensity with a shortcut, or you can just leave it. I usually leave mine just on the desktop so it's not in my way while I'm working on something. But this just adds another little festive decoration to your macOS experience. And you can use it all year long. Probably don't want snow all year, but you can change your menu bar lights to, leaves or stars or snowflakes, eggs for Easter, whatever. It's up to you. You can get this app at the developer's website for the Mac. So I got my vocal list here. Well, let's just add a new tab, and we'll go to Festivas. So the URL is festivitas.app. It is a paid for app, but it's like, pay me what you would like. He has a suggested price of, I think it's €4, but you can type in whatever price you'd like. You can do a, currency translation. You can even use Spotlight for that. So if you have €4 is $4.70. Yeah. So you can type in, $4.70 or $5 if you want to give it a little extra. He also has it available for iOS, and it works in a widget. It's at the iPhone or iPad App Store. You can learn all about it there. Search for the same thing, Festivitas. And that's my favorite for this month. Happy Christmas.
Okay, Mike, how do you want to handle this one?
I'll just talk about it a little.
Okay.
It is a website called oldergeeks.com. Not surprisingly, it is run by older geeks. It's freeware. Downloaded freeware. I find out about this because I actually have a newsletter that I subscribe to. Again, it's published by people that were magazine publishers in the 90s and who transitioned online. And they often feature stuff from this. What it is freeware that has been tested by them. It's ad-free. So you got some pretty good guarantee of quality here. There's no viruses. Basically, any kind of freeware that you can imagine they have. Oldergeeks.com. If I go there, it says I could click all download categories, or they actually have a separate category for video games. So, for example, if you remember on the old versions of Windows, the Space Cadet Pinball, they have it. And it is amazing. It is still a lot of fun.
No crap.
And something that made me think of SD was, scroll down a little bit, John. Those are the most downloaded files. Interestingly, the first one is to install Windows 11 on unsupported hardware, which you could do at your own risk. But notice the log them updated or added files, all sorts of Christmas themes. There you go. That are available to it. So, but yeah, they've got thousands and thousands of freeware here. You said you could be pretty sure that this site is pretty solid as far as quality goes. So, just want to let you know about that. So,
Is it just Windows?
no, actually, when I searched on it, I went into the games, and they had a few Mac OS games on there as well. So, and it is agnostic as far as freeware goes, as far as platform goes. But,
Wow.
yeah, it's
How long has it been out there? Do you know? I mean,
years and years and years.
Wow, that's impressive, Mike.
Because when they say older geeks, think about those of us of a certain age who are into the tech stuff in the 80s and 90s and now are retired. There you go.
Okay, we're now down to questions and answers. Does anybody have a question? Does anyone have an I knew.
I was holding. I had a question regarding when you purchase an app. Barry, I guess. If you purchase Festivitas for your Mac, do you have to pay again for your phone?
Yes, you do. Two different channels, I should say. Yes, but you buy it directly from the developer's website for the Mac, but for iOS or iPad, it's through Apple's App Store. So it doesn't know that you've already paid the developer anything because Apple doesn't.
And also, it depends by the developer how they want to handle that situation.
They're giving it away, I played a little bit around with the iOS version of it, and because of the restrictions of the operating system, it can't do stuff in the background like make do anything outside of the app's own sandbox. So the way it works is it allows you to create a widget that has lights on it. And you can do a number of things. You can have it just be transparent and show the background of your lock screen or your app or your home screen. Or you can like put a photo in it. So I put a photo of my wife with Christmas lights around her on my iPad.
Okay, any other questions? Does anyone have an answer they'd like to question too? Okay, since we don't, it is time to take a break. No more than 10 minutes, please. And the break is over, folks. Welcome back. Now we're going to get started with what I consider to be a really great meeting. Especially, we're going to be talking about using Microsoft Copilot and Apple Intelligence together. We have a video from Mike. And by the way, it says Mike video. That's to remind me that we have a video of it. And then we're going to do Apple Intelligence. First, we're going to do Image Playground. Then what I consider probably one of my best presentations I've done to date, Writing Tools, and go through every single thing Writing Tools does and why you would do it. And then if time permitting, we'll have a very short demonstration of Genmoji, which is generate emoji. You can make your own emojis. Any questions? I thought I heard a question. Okay, moving right along, we are on to Mike.
Good morning. This is Mike McLean, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft is quickly integrating Copilot into most of its products. Their goal is to ensure that they achieve what they're calling the frontier, or agentic AI, which is to incorporate as much AI as possible into their product. The end project, I think, is to come up with a computer that is essentially the enterprise computer on Star Trek, where you simply tell it what you want and it provides it. First, let's look at Microsoft Copilot running on Windows 11. If you have a Windows 11 system or even Windows 10, you're likely going to see a Copilot icon in your taskbar right down here. And I'm going to click on that and open it up. I'm already logged in with my Microsoft account. It knows who I am. Good morning, Michael. What can I help you with today? Well, let's see here. I know that Microsoft wants Copilot to run on what they're calling the Microsoft Copilot Plus PC. These are new PCs that actually have integration in the hardware with Copilot. They have replaced the Windows command key with a Copilot key. So let's see what it says about that. And it comes back with Copilot Plus PCs are a new class of AI-powered Windows computers.
designed with specialized hardware to deliver faster performance, longer battery life, and exclusive AI features like Recall, Co-Creator, and advanced image editing. And I know that some of these features are currently not available on Windows 11 devices that are not Copilot PC enabled. And we have information here about what it is, what they can do, and what some of the requirements are. I know that one of the things that runs on Copilot PC is Microsoft Recall. You may remember that from last year. They introduced it, and then it was withdrawn because of privacy concerns. It's now rolling out on Microsoft Plus PCs. So let's see, what is Microsoft Recall? And here it gives us a little explanation of what it is. What Microsoft Recall does is it takes a screenshot of your picture every periodically, and you can set that up for as often as you want. And Microsoft has gone big on privacy on this. They emphasize that you control how often you want it to work. You control even if you want it to work at all. It is opt-in, not opt-out. It is processed and stored locally, only on your device, not in the cloud. What this does is provides a searchable timeline, because it uses AI to look at what's on your screen at any given time. And you can then tell it you want to work with what's on your screen. If you have images, you can work with the images. If you have text, you can go in the text. And you can actually, of course, draw inferences from whatever it is that you're seeing on there. And it even, to their credit, they do talk about the privacy concerns that Recall did create, and some of the things that you can do with it. Another thing I've seen mentioned about when they talk about Microsoft Plus PCs is something called Click to Do. So let me see what that is, if I can type properly. And again, Click to Do is something that's exclusive to Copilot Plus PCs. Rather works something like Recall. You can click on something that's showing on your screen and come up with a context-sensitive menu as to what you want it to do. If it's text, it'll ask you, okay, do you want to copy this, open with an app, search the web for it, do something else? Or if it's an image, how do you want to edit that image? Do you want to blur out the background, do something with the foreground, that kind of thing? So it provides contextual actions. Again, these are exclusive right now to Copilot Plus PCs. Matter of fact, a lot of the things I talk about with Microsoft Copilot may or may not be available even on Windows 11 devices. They're bringing out capabilities, one capability at a time, and there's no timeline. It's hard to say when something's going to show up on your device through Windows Update. All right, let's take a look over here. Again, this is Copilot running on Windows 11. We have conversations, things I've asked it about before. At one point, I asked it, so what are some of the top barbecue joints in Sierra Vista? And it came up with some of the places that were there at that time. Some of these are no longer with us. I know Gunny's closed down. Here's something I experimented with once. I showed it a picture I took in Tucumcari of Dell's Restaurant, which is a great Route 66 restaurant, and it has an iconic heifer up on the top of their sign. And I asked Copilot, so where was this taken? I wanted to see how well it does. Interestingly, I see that it says after 30 days, uploaded files and images are forgotten for your privacy. It was more than 30 days ago, so it's gone. But it did do a pretty good job of figuring out what it was. This image features the sign for Dell's Restaurant, which has a bit of retro charm with its cow sculpture perched on top and the since 1956 note. Definitely puts some history, and there it talks about it's in Tucumcari, New Mexico, and is a Route 66 landmark. So you can do different things to play with this. You can really get lost in this, quite frankly. One thing I wanted to mention is down here it talks about how, yes, I'm logged in, and I have a Microsoft 365 family plan, and it asks me if I want to upgrade. Microsoft offers a subscription for Copilot access. I tell it I want to upgrade, and it gives me the options here for I can upgrade $12.99 a month, or I could go to Microsoft 365 Premium, $20 a month. And these are apart from the Microsoft 365 basic, I guess I'll call it basic plan. These give you more options to use with Copilot. Some of the Copilot stuff is done on the cloud, and it may limit you to how much time you have on the cloud. These will actually give you more time and more options. So I am not going to do that. I'm quite happy with what I'm seeing right now. One thing I really wanted to point out is labs. These are some of the things that they're still may not have available for Windows right now, but they'll probably be rolling them out in the future. So let's take a look at some of these. We have Copilot Audio Expressions, which is voice generation. And let's try a couple of these. Speak like Shakespeare.
O fair barista, lend thine ear to me. In morning's light, I crave a potion warm. a latte rich, with froth like clouds above, sweet nectar of the bean, I do implore, with milk that dances, creamy and divine. Bestow upon me this delightful brew, for in its warmth my spirit shall take flight, and face the day with vigor anew. So grant me this, I pray, with haste and grace, a latte, dear friend, to quicken my pace.
Or let's try the sports play-by-play.
Hello and welcome, sports fans. What an electrifying moment we have just witnessed. Anna has stepped up.
We have some things we can play with. We can do the different kinds of voices. That was Sage. How about Rain? British accent. Let's try make a sleep meditation.
Find a cozy spot, my dear, whether you choose to sit, lie down, or simply stand in serene stillness.
So you can go ahead and generate video or audio and have it done in the style that you would like. Again, this is something that's kind of fun to play with right at the moment. All right, let's see what else they've got as far as labs go. We have portraits. I won't go through all of these, but we have portraits, talk through big moments of the eye that responds with voice and visuals. Copilot Labs, they save space to try out new features. Okay, talk about what matters to you with the character of your choice. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and try this.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you doing today? What's your name? And I need to turn that on. So how are you doing today?
Hey, Michael. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I'm always up for a good chat. So what's on your mind today?
And to me, that's a little bit creepy, but okay. I'm not one into the chats. And we have several options for it. Well, let's see what else we have here. We have Copilot 3D, turn images into 3D models with one click. All right, different things that we could play with there. I don't have an image ready to upload. Maybe I do. Let me see what I can find here. I did download a picture earlier today. Let me do a create. This is a woodpecker from the Chiricahuas from a month ago and taking a little time to generate, which I find very interesting because if it's doing this locally, this particular PC I'm using is pretty powerful. Generation failed, try again later. And there's the downside of playing with labs. We have Myco, which is something I just heard about this week, a new way to talk to Copilot. Good morning.
I accidentally hit the keyboard.
Which is something I just heard about this week, a new way to talk to Copilot. In voice mode, I'll now respond with expressions and gestures to let you know I'm listening. You can turn this off in voice settings anytime, so let's try it.
Hey, Michael. Great to see you. Now that I'm here in full glowing form, let's dive into whatever's on your mind. What's the first thing you'd like to chat about today?
Oh, I don't know. What do you think of those, who's going to win the Super Bowl this next year?
Well, it's a bit of a toss-up, but the odds are favoring the Los Angeles Rams right now. They're leading the pack in terms of betting favorites, followed by the Seahawks and the Eagles. Of course, things can change as we get closer, but the Rams are looking pretty strong right now with Matthew Stafford having a standout season. In the NFC picture, the Eagles are still considered strong contenders.
That's enough. Thank you very much.
Whoa!
So hard to not be snarky with some of these. We have Copilot Actions, which is very similar, I think, to Click to Do. Currently available to signed in Copilot users worldwide, except in some countries. Okay, this is integrated into Microsoft Edge. Basically, it's a way to automate some of the tasks that you want to do. And here is a demo of it. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so you see you can actually automate this to do tasks, in this case, getting yourself a hotel room. I'm going to move on. I really don't want to take up all of John's time today. Copilot Vision. Try it in Copilot in Edge. Yes, Copilot is now fully integrated in Edge. So let me go ahead and try this, which I find interesting, is bringing up Copilot in Edge in Chrome. Just brought me to the Microsoft website. It is a talk-based experience. Make sure your mic is enabled first. And I actually have to bring that up in Edge, which I'll do that in a little bit here. And Copilot Gaming Experiences. Age verification. and brings up the game, which looks kind of like the old Half-Life, and keyboard controlled. Clearly something I'm going to have to play with later. All right, so this is Copilot on Windows 11. As I mentioned, Copilot is being integrated into everything. By the way, one thing I did want to mention is that even if you have Windows 10, you can still use Copilot because you'll see it actually brought up the Copilot website, copilot.microsoft.com. And this is accessible to anybody that's running Windows 10 or 11. So that's one way that you can go. I am now going to go to Microsoft Edge, and let's see what that comes up with. And it comes up, it asked me before if I wanted to have Copilot integrated. I said yes, turn it on. So I have Copilot integrated in here. Notice right now it actually just acts like the web browser. Okay, I just turned it back to the regular one. Let me turn on Copilot Discover. Let's see. What are good restaurants on Route 66 in Arizona? All right. And it comes up with a couple in Williams, Seligman, of course, Delgadillo Snowcap, excellent. Kingman, Sonoran Hot Dog in Flagstaff. We're going to have to try that. Okay. So this is essentially doing right now, I brought up Bing, and it's doing what Gemini does in Chrome and what Apple Intelligence does in Safari. It also has a chat window here that is brought in. So again, you can institute a Copilot chat, just like you can in the Copilot app itself. Okay, I'm going to move right on. The other thing I need to mention is Copilot 365. Office 365 has been replaced by Copilot 365. If I bring that up here, hi, how can I help? Again, we have the chat window as we do in the others. I've got the apps that you can play with here. I will not go into the 365 apps. That's a whole nother presentation. But they are integrating Copilot into the apps as we speak, a little bit at a time. The one thing of interest here I wanted to point out is Office Agent or Frontier. Frontier is essentially what to Microsoft is what Apple Intelligence is to Apple. That's the buzzword they're trying to get going for their automation agent. If you watch the YouTube on Microsoft Ignite, which was held in November, they talk big time about using Office agents to create the agentic web. And they had a 2-hour demo on how you can actually use that to automate your business processes. So I just brought up Office Agent. And again, it's really designed more for business as to how you want to do things. It'll integrate the stuff here, the PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, bring all that together. I'm going to bring up top 5 future work trends. Yeah, we'll start replay. So we have a demonstration here on how Office Agent would work to help you go ahead and, and it did not, my security did not like one of the things that it hit up there. Very interesting. So if you want to play with that, by all means, you can sure look at it and see what it can do. All right. I think that I've probably used up about as much time as I've got. I think we hit most everything. The big thing is Microsoft is really starting to integrate Copilot into everything Microsoft, and I think it'll be very useful, actually, a lot of it in the future. Again, most of it is based towards business rather than the personal user, but there's still going to be a lot of good stuff out there that we're going to be able to use ourselves in the home environment. So we'll just have to keep an eye on it. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching. My name is Mike McLean, and I'll see y'all a little later.
Thank you much. Mike, how do you know if you have a Microsoft Plus PC?
Because
I mean, I have Windows 10 and I have Microsoft 365 Basic.
a Windows PC has the little Windows button on it.
Yeah, I got one of those.
A Microsoft Copilot PC has replaced the Windows button with a Copilot button. The button's a little bit different.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now I know a lot more about Copilot. Some things that surprised me is the fact that there is a subscription with Copilot.
That is for the advanced capabilities.
Yeah.
Basically what it is they're actually selling Copilot time on the web for more resource-intensive tasks. So that's basically what their subscription is to the Microsoft 365. You're buying more time on their cloud-based servers.
And yeah,
If I'm not mistaken, I'm a Mac user, so on my desktop, I have the Copilot logo on the taskbar. But when I click on it, it will come back and give me an error message saying it's, if I'm not mistaken, that it won't let me go into Copilot.
On
When I get home, John, I'll try this, because like I said, whenever I click on it, it's telling me, hey, here's some.
You said it's on Mac?
Oh my, there's a Copilot app on the Mac.
Oh, is there?
You know,
But like I said, when I click on it, it will not take me
That-
to Copilot.
That's interesting. Now we're going to see something a lot different, surprisingly. We're talking about Apple Intelligence. Now, Apple Intelligence is, Apple refused to call what they're doing artificial intelligence. And they've taken a very different approach than what I'm seeing in Copilot. And we're going to start off with Image Playground. And Barry is going to mirror over to me.
all right, so Image Playgrounds. It originally appeared last fall in Sequoia and iPad OS 18. And then it was upgraded this fall with all the OS 26s that came out. So it has some new capabilities, but it's, as the name implies, it's kind of a place to play more than anything else. So let's open it up here. I'm gonna launch Spotlight, which has a direct route to all apps on your computer now in the latest operating system, and I can just start typing a name here, Image Playground, and hit return, and it'll launch it. Now, if you've never used it, you won't see this. I'm going to go ahead and fill my screen here. As you can see, I've been playing with it a little bit over the last year. Actually, some of these date back from last fall. But if you've never used it, you won't see anything like this. You'll just see a new image button. I think it's right in the middle. But it's a place to create images that you can use for various things. So for instance, going back to the wallpaper video, if you don't have any holiday wallpaper on your Mac, and you can, this is one way you can create some. So let's see how we might do that. So I'm going to click on New Image here. This is the basic interface that you'll see if you haven't used it before. So the newest version has a Style button at the top, which you can choose several different things. Originally, it was only animation, illustration, and sketch. And now they've added Genmoji directly into this, as well as in other places. If we get to that, you'll see that later. And they've added ChatGPT integration. So ChatGPT will may give you even better results than the built-in Apple models that Apple's using. But we'll just play around first with Apple's so you can see what does it, how it works. So, and at the bottom, you've got some suggestions. You can create something that looks like a person. You can choose people that are in your photos library or generic face. You can have different themes here. They've got, you can have parties, summer, birthdays, things like that. But you can just start from scratch and type down in this field at the very bottom, you want to describe what you want. So if we're going to create a holiday wallpaper for ourselves, let's start with let's see, mountain, not desert, desert scene. And it's running, I think initially it was running on device, depending on how complicated your prompts get. It may then jump to the cloud and use Apple's Cloud Compute, which is a private server interaction. And then if you want to use ChatGPT, then it goes outside of Apple's ecosphere. As you can see, it created one, and when it comes up with one, it makes a square. It's one of the limitations with image playgrounds. Everything's a square, unfortunately. But you see the little dots, and you got an arrow. It's giving you variations, and you can keep clicking through until you find something you like to start with. Well, Oh, that's nice. We've got a shiny moon. Let's leave it a nighttime scene like that, and we can add things to this. Let's see. Let's just add snow. See what it does if I just say snow. Aha! Now I put snow on our cactus. And let's make
A camel.
a camel. A camel. Wait, no. Let's see what happens if we go the reason for the season. See if it'll put. Oh no, it's not going to do a nativity. Okay. We'll put John's camel in here. A camel. Oh, there we go.
Now, can we modify the camel?
Well, it's coming
I
up
want
with
it,
different
yeah.
versions. There are different versions coming up right now.
One hump or two.
I like that one the best.
Right?
Yeah, well, we'll just keep going. To keep this brief. And then let's make, let's just put some Christmas ribbon on the camel. No, let's do Christmas bells on the camel. See what happens.
Now, at this point, could I click on, say, snow and modify it or not? No.
Oh, that's pretty cute.
That is nice.
They look pretty cute.
Like right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
if
with the
you
red
click
nose.
on it, yeah, it puts it back down there.
Yeah. With large red nose.
Snow with large red nose?
No, I meant camel, not snow. I'm sorry.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Camel?
Yep. There we go.
Well, okay. Let's see what we've got
Looks
here.
like a ladybug.
It's a little tall, I think.
Oh, no, we get the...
Oh, got a floating bell on that one. Uh-oh.
Yeah, what happened to you?
Well, we'll just stick with this one. So once you've got one, in your sites here that you like, then you click on the save button, and it adds it to your group that you've already made, or that you may have.
These are still pictures, correct?
Yeah, these are just still images.
Not animated?
Doesn't do animations.
Okay.
Not yet.
It says animation. It's just the style in which it creates it. So it looks, kind of looks like Pixar, sort of. And that's. Let's just try. Let's do the same prompts with ChatGPT and see what it comes up with. Just for grins. It may take longer because it's got to send it up to the cloud. It's got to communicate.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing with Copilot, which is using GPT-5, so it's taking a couple minutes each change.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't have my camel yet.
part of that is also, the whole world is using ChatGPT servers. They're getting hammered all the time, I'm
So if
sure.
we take any of this and say put it on a poster for something for sale or whatever, is there any kind of copyright
Yeah.
infringement?
No.
Not with image playgrounds. It's creating it from scratch. It's using, resources or,
No, 'cause-
sources that the AI model
However-
scraped. But it's especially with Apple, they're not gonna create anything that looks like anybody else's work.
I would strongly recommend that you have a disclaimer on the bottom saying it was created using.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
AI.
Actually, no, what I was more thinking of is making all kinds of cutesy pictures or whatever like this, and then making a painting out of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use it for
Charles?
source material for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, well, using it as a source to do something else.
So there's ChatGPT's take. It's more snow, which is kind of cute.
We have a question, Charles?
Now I
Of course, the
understand this is
perspective's
Apple
on-
Intelligence, so once you create it, it's yours.
Yes.
Apple does not keep that on their server.
Correct.
Yeah, so
They
you
don't.
get your-
Apple doesn't know anything like that.
No.
Only ChatGPT has contributed to it this time. So here we go. Here's
We have another question?
Can you use real live people?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In there?
Okay, let me show you that in a second. So here's ChatGPT's version. And here is, come on, where did it type? For some reason, it's not opening that one.
That's strange.
That is strange. However, one of the things you can do from here, I believe, is you can just drag it right out on your desktop and it creates then just an image file.
Mm-hmm.
So there's what Image Playground Apple Intelligence did, and that's what
ChatGPT did.
ChatGPT did through Image Playgrounds. You know, got that stacks thing going. Let's turn on stacks and then here. Let's put them. There we go. There's the ChatGPT version. There's the Apple Intelligence. And this is basically done all on device. ChatGPT servers were brought into the mix for this one. And you notice it's a different style even. So if you wanted a specific kind of illustrative style, you would have to add that to the prompt if you were using ChatGPT. So that ChatGPT knows. It did its own thing, whatever.
So we write something like Liechtenstein style?
Yeah, you could do something like that.
Now, if we can go back to the one that generated by Apple Intelligence in Image Playground.
Oh, within Image
Yeah.
Playground? It's not letting me open it. That's weird.
There we go. Now add you into that picture.
Oh, add me?
Or a person. Add a person.
Okay, we can add me. Why not? I think it's just gonna it's gonna do a new.
It's 11 o'clock.
No, it is gonna add me. Okay, let's see what happens. It's gonna put my face on the camel.
Oh, the big red dude.
With a big red nose. There we go.
Oh my God.
Now let's see if we can edit. There we go. That's better.
Gosh, it's me with a camel body.
Because we didn't give it any parameters, standing next to the camel.
Oh no, take that one out.
Oh yeah, that's not very good.
Wow.
Well, anyway, so as you can see, you can play around. It's a playground. However, as you may have seen, I'm not. As you may have seen, I was playing around with a different prompt for a Christmas village in the mountains with snow as an option for a
Wallpaper.
holiday wallpaper. So
You can't tell it image aspect ratio 16:9.
Image Playgrounds, unfortunately, is always a square.
Okay.
So it's not exactly the right aspect ratio, as John was mentioning, for a desktop wallpaper. As you can see, it's square. But since this one does have kind of a portion of it that could be seen as a widescreen. So the end of this, then let's go ahead and put that one on, just as an example what you can do with Image Playgraphs if you don't have a desktop. Where is it? If you don't have your own, what is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. So there we have, and it
did.
it fills the screen, as you can see.
Yeah.
But there's other ways you can do it. If you change it to fit the screen, it will distort. It'll letterbox it, and you can see the whole image square. But then you've got different color on the sides. And you can change that color, by the way, if you don't want. You could pull a color from the image, or you can just, choose
Red.
black or red. Let's see, plug it into the. There we go. That's pretty bright. Or you can stretch it, which will distort it to the image, to the thing. Or you can tile it, and it'll make multiple copies. But if you just do fill screen, this particular one doesn't work, or it works pretty well. You can also see, however, that it's not really high resolution. So Image Playgrounds is not going to give you a 4K image, for instance. It's probably not even an HD image. We can see, if I get info on this file that I pulled out, it's 1536 pixels square. So it's what, 3 megapixels?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not huge.
No.
But, if it's just a background image for your Mac, it might be kind of fun to create your own that way and get your holiday wallpaper that.
You could actually ask AI to put, or whatever this is called, to put a border on it that would turn it into a rectangle. So that then it would fit the screen better. So like if I took this picture and said put 1 inch on the top and 2 inches on the side. No, 1 inch on the sides and 2 inches on the top and bottom. It might be a way to frame it up.
So,
Okay.
I have a quick question. What's the difference between a PNG file and a JPEG? I mean, a JPEG.
A lot.
Well, that's what I thought.
Okay. Real quickly, PNG is a file format designed for non-photos.
Okay.
JPEG, the Joint Photographic Group, specifically designed JPEG to be used with photographs to compress them down in size. PNG has no compression whatsoever. JPEG can go from very, very little compression to a lot of compression. That's the difference.
Okay, thank you.
PNG is non-vector illustrations.
Sorry, that was off the subject.
So I'm just trying Letterbox to.
Place a 16 by 9 frame around this image.
I don't think it's going to do that.
Did you use a colon in between?
Yeah.
What difference does that make?
I didn't know, like I might put
Yeah, it doesn't know what to do with that.
No.
Gotcha.
That's why I asked.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we will quit Image Playgrounds and
It's still fun.
and turn
It's
on.
a way you could spend a
Turn
lot
on
of
the
time.
snow just for
Yeah.
effect. And
Endless hours.
that's Image Playgrounds.
Okay.
And you won't even
Don't forget to
notice
stop your record.
Those hours will just disappear.
Where's my here.
Next, we're going to talk about Writing Tool on the Mac. I am showing you the one that's iOS 26. There was Writing Tool just prior to this. A lot of the same capabilities, but they have greatly expanded the capabilities. I'm going to be demonstrating where do you find Writing Tools. It's in all edit menus that make sense. Many non-Apple programs will have it in the edit menu, but not all. It is specifically designed for handling of, it's on iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and you get it either by right clicking. I think that's the next slide. Yeah. It's a contextual menu or an edit menu. You right or command click, bring it up, and you can see the show writing tools. You must have in many programs text selected. If you try and bring up a contextual menu, a non-text, you will not see show writing tools. Now, how I'm going to demonstrate this is we're going to go through, and the reason I didn't do a video of this is I want to make sure you understand there is no magic involved at all. you're going to be seeing live of how this is used. We're going to be going through, describe the change, proofread, rewrite. Actually, we're going to do it a little bit different order than this. Change the tone, summary, key points list, and the most single powerful part of writing tools is something called Compose. Compose takes you to ChatGPT, the full ChatGPT 5.1 at no cost. And I use this a lot. Okay, we're going to go over to Pages, of which I have, this is a page from one of my blogs on cooking. And what we're going to do is we're going to select all of this, bring up the contextual show writing tools. I'm going to wait on describe the change until we get down to rewrite. First thing I do is do proofread. It's going to go through and proofread all this, and it doesn't show any changes because I proofread this already. Okay. I should been grammar checked. Okay. I'm going to open up.
I remember my question. It has to do with public. Like, if you write this, is it available for Chat GPT or AI to use to gather data and or reproduce this?
Apple tools, if you're using Apple tools, they do not. ChatGPT does. It uses what you create to train the engines. It does not keep a copy of it. It just uses it for training.
So in Apple products, how does it build upon? Does it just stay at my location? So if I put in text and I want this to become copyrighted material, that's what I'm referencing, is if I am building a program in there, how do I know that it's not, that somebody else can't ask the right questions and pull up my program?
The only way you could guarantee that is not to use it. AI at all.
Period.
Yes.
Whether it's Apple or...
Right. Okay. The chances of that happening based upon that, because that's not the way they build, is if you have it published on the web, very good chance.
ChatGPT.
Right. If you don't have it published, taking your material in its database, it doesn't work that way. Okay. It doesn't take a copy of it and stores it. It goes through and analyzes what you've generated. And then, like if I do a ChatGPT and tell it to do a rewrite, then it will use that as the basis of what it did on that. But it's not going to store the rewrite.
Okay, so one of the things that has been brought to my attention is it was suggested to, like, tell your business and you want to shoot, now I may have just messed myself up. But let's just go back to the program idea, that I need to build out a program and that you tell ChatGPT or whatever your AI is you tell them what your likes, dislikes, what your, who you are. You feed it information about who you are, how you live, what your values are, literally you're like describing yourself in the greatest depth in order for it to write matching you. Yeah. Right? And another scenario that goes side by side with this, that you let it take your picture, as Barry did on the other AI product, and then it has a full picture of you, which could, again, so these two things make me go, damn, is privacy's out the door if you do something like that.
Can we hold off the answer to that till next month? Because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and read. This is the original of this. And show writing tools. And I do a proofread. And it should find a bunch of stuff to change. 13 changes. It goes, highlights them. I can go through and it tells me what's wrong with it and how to fix it. Capitalization. It's already made the changes. It's a grammar checker. It not only tells you what it changed and why it changed it, which is pretty good. That's interesting. I'm going to go back to this one over here. Now what I'm going to do is select the text again, come in here and I'm going to choose rewrite. Okay. And what it'll do is it'll analyze it and do a rewrite. But using rewrite, you have no control over how it rewrites it. What it does in this case is it keeps track of everything you've written, and it will develop your tone and rewrite it the way it thinks you would do it. And here we have the rewrite, and we see that here's the original, here's the rewrite, and it's pretty much the same. The voice has changed a little bit. So that's a rewrite capability. But what I want to do, this is a podcast, audio podcast. I want to, and I say these commands, make into a radio script. I want you to rewrite this as a radio script. So I'm going to put that in here. I wrote these down to make sure that I had them correctly. So I'm just going to hit return. And now it's doing a rewrite based upon my description. Let's see what it does. Son of a gun. It's giving me intro music, the host who's speaking, sound effects in the standard radio script format. That's kind of cool. But I want to do a YouTube video. So we're going to go back, get my commands, and the command is create a TV script with suggested shots for a YouTube video.
That would be tequila shots?
Yeah. So I'm going to hit the contextual, and this time I'm going to give it the command, create a TV script with suggested shots for YouTube video. So it's going, and the intro shot with all the video, this is standard TV script, but I want a storyboard with images. So we're going to come back, and I'm going to change this, create a storyboard. It didn't give me the images. Now, what's interesting is that when I did this 2 days ago, it went out to ChatGPT and gave me the images. So I said, geez, wouldn't it be great if I could do that? Use ChatGPT? Well, show writing tools. I'm going to show you down here in Compose, but not right now. Because what I want to do is I want to change this. I want it to rewrite it to make it friendly. Because my wife says I'm awfully stuffy on my podcast. Well, I don't do the podcast anymore because I had 7 followers. It just wasn't worth it. It's a great podcast, though. So it's gone through here and changed the tone of it to be friendlier. Well, as it turns out, it didn't make many changes because it was pretty friendly to begin with. We go into it, and the tone has changed. I'm going to back it up and go down here and this time I'm going to professional. Now, I rarely use these two, but I do use it when I'm like when I'm writing a letter of recommendation. I'll have it go through professional, see where I need to make the changes. And it does a pretty good job of imitating me. And it's gone through here and made changes. Yeah, it is different to make it more professional sounding. That's not me, but it could be. The tone of it, and it does adapt your tone. That's why it's not making very many changes, because it knows how I write. It's got a bunch of these. So it's been analyzing that. But let's go in, come back up to show tools. By the way, you can get to it right up here. I keep forgetting it's there. This is the one I use a lot. Make it concise. So I hit this, and now it's going to go through and shorten this down considerably.
But it's still professional.
Oh, yes. You'll see.
Concise and professional.
Okay. As you can see, it's shortened it way down. It's now concise.
It changed from I'm really into cooking to a passionate cook.
You hit.
Now what we're going to do is come down here and summary. This one I use on web pages a lot. Because if I come to some of these web pages, 20 screens long, I go up and say, hey, damn it, summarize it for me. Okay? I don't have time to read through all of that. Or if I want to even read it. So I'm going to hit the summary, and it's taken that into one paragraph. Okay? Wow. And I can replace it if I want, copy it, put it someplace else. Okay? But the one I love the most is this one, because I use all the time, and that's key points.
That's nice for outline.
Yes. Oh, it's nice for slides. Okay. If I get, if I'm going through and I've created what I want to talk about, I'll just go through and say, give me the key points. And now I have the slide. Does the key points in the same way that ChatGPT does. It gives you the topic and then the explanation. And that's really kind of cool. So, and now we're going to take a look at the list. It'll go through and try and make it a list. Well, it doesn't make much sense for this. So let's go in and see what it does, if anything. It made a list. It doesn't really make much sense because it wasn't a list to begin with. But I can come here. Now, this might make sense because I have ingredients. It can't do that. It can't find enough information to make a list, which makes sense. But if you have a document that is listable, then it'll do that. It'll also, the final one that it does, which makes no sense in this document, is it can create a table for me automatically and use that table. the final one, we're going to select all of this, come down to Compose. Now, what Compose does is it goes out to ChatGPT and uses the ChatGPT engine out of 5.1 free of charge. What I'm going to do with this one is rewrite into storyboard with images for a YouTube video production. Let's see what happens.
That's great thing that happens with ChatGPT is it gives you suggestions at the end of what it does. Be helpful.
Now, what I'm going to do is create this. Ooh, I never thought of doing this.
And I didn't mention it, sorry to say, but yeah, Playgrounds is integrated into all of Apple's first-party apps. The Keynote, Numbers, Pages, Freeform, I think even Mail.
Okay, how do I get out of this?
I think I don't know. I think there might be a button below your dock.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, there you go. Put it right in there.
Cool.
And I can create a storyboard just that easily. But what I wanted to do is I'm going to do this instead. That's ChatGPT. And there's no limit on it. If you go into the ChatGPT app, you can only generate a limited number of images. Using the Compose, you don't. And it integrated it right into the storyboard. Now, what I haven't been able to figure out yet, and this is where prompt engineering comes in, is I wanted to create the images, give it the prompt so I don't have to go through and redo this. I haven't figured out I know it can be done, but that's Writing Tools. Writing Tools is a lot different than Copilot, though it is similar to Copilot. It is designed to be an assistant. I use it for proofreading. Yes, sir.
So that same feature should be available for email, where you run a robot email and you summarize that email.
And since it's email, I have the summarize brought up for me, and it'll go through and summarize it.
And see, well, I'm in my mail now, and see, I don't have the writing tools, so where I can summarize. I'll do it after.
Select the text.
Okay.
Select the text.
Okay, this is your user group meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Select the text, and then bring up the contextual menu, and you should see Writing Tools.
Writing tools. Okay, gotcha.
And summarize. Any place you can enter text, including Safari.
It's in the address bar, the little icon to the left, the little box with the lines underneath it.
Oh, there it is.
That site doesn't support.
Yeah, it doesn't. Let's go to. Okay, I come up here. Oh.
You got to be looking at a specific story.
Yeah, let me get to something.
Google doesn't allow it either. And PBS might.
This should do it. Yeah, there it.
Summarize and others, you'll have to click on the summarize button.
Does everyone know what show reader is?
I use that all the time.
Yeah. It gets rid of all the ads on a page, and you can actually read what's going. That is a best feature in Safari. Okay, so
At least the one in Chrome will also often get you past you must have a login in order to read this article. It'll often get you past that.
I hadn't thought about trying that. Does it work on the Herald?
I don't know. I haven't tried.
And I can go here, and Writing Tools is available. Any place I can select text, Writing Tools is there for you. Now, what you can do with it is generally pretty limited. I can summarize it, or what I like to do is key points. And it'll go through and give me the key points from a page where I select all of it. So, any questions on Writing Tools? Is everybody going to go home and try it? iOS 26 only. Well, no, try and see if it's on yours. It may be, but it may not be. It may not have the ChatGPT integration.
Not on any of my devices.
Okay.
They're all tool.
Open Pages.
Yeah, there's hardware. Like, like the Copilot PC is a special hardware.
And
Apple Intelligence needs specific hardware too.
I usually use Microsoft apps that are downloaded on the computer.
Yeah.
Well, I told Microsoft to go up into the cloud, and there you have much more tight Copilot integration. Because I just brought up a Word on the cloud, and it comes up with, okay, what do you want ChatGPT, or what do you want Copilot to write? And I just told it, okay, create a storyboard for a YouTube video on how to change background images, and it just generated a whole storyboard on how to do that.
With the images.
Without the images. I told it to include images, it just has descriptions.
Yeah, that's the same problem I'm having with it. Well, folks, we're going to stop it right here. I wish all of you a great holiday season. Be careful, be good, drive safely if you're going someplace. Next month, AI Part 2, and we will be looking at and bringing your concerns about AI.